From the heart of Europe
to the world.
This is RTI.
The station of the stars. RTI.
That'll be us then. And Mr. Banks has still got his phone on and it's going bleep, bleep, bleep while he's doing it. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, everybody, wherever you happen to be on the planet. Hello to Faisal, who's just joined us for the first time. Hello, mate. How are you? No, it's Faizat, isn't it? I do beg your pardon, sir. And Robert has joined us for the first time as well, as has Rahal as well. Wow. Thank you very much indeed, guys. Lovely to have you with us, as they say in all the good books. And how are you, Mr. Banks?
I'm very well, thank you. I'm just reading my phone. It's very interesting.
Why?
Because people are being very complimentary about me. Do you know what he's made me do this morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls and everybody else? As a joke, he put salt in my coffee.
I did not.
You did. I drank salt in my coffee because of him.
And who made the coffee?
Well, I made it, actually.
And who put the salt in it?
Well, it was me, really. But
so whose fault is it?
Well, it was mine, really. But
and so, therefore, who is the numpty?
It was an artistic gesture after all the rubbish you've been talking on Facebook this morning.
Me?
Yeah, I'm going to have a go at you in a bit.
Oh, yeah. Well, can I do my announcement first?
What's your announcement, dear? Are you
right,
pregnant?
Yeah, I've got twins, mate, you can tell. On the 13th of February this year is International Radio Day. It's World Radio Day. You can find out all about it on the UNESCO site. And RTI is going to be contributing to the day.
Can I just give some facts and figures?
If you want.
World Radio Day in last year, there were 44,000 radio stations took part.
Oh.
And, yeah, listen, and they got to 5.6 billion listeners in one day. And we're going to be a massive part of that.
We are indeed.
And our thing is next to there, what's it, isn't it?
Our thing is definitely next to their what's it.
Exactly.
As I say, you'll find it slowly appearing on Facebook. We haven't splattered it about all over the place yet because no need, as they say. But our concept of the day is that international radio has a massive part to play in extension of knowledge, extension of values, extension of everything.
So I've just had an idea. Just a brilliant idea. No, I'll share it with you after. All right, very quickly.
What?
Very quick. We've been talking in recent weeks, me and him there. About making some sort of connection with Consumer Watch Foundation and talking about RTI FM.
Right.
Well, now, because I've got all the facts and figures about World Radio Day, just by sheer coincidence,
yes,
I'm going to write about you and RTI FM in the Consumer Watch Foundation in the next couple of weeks and tell all the world about it.
Right, well, anyway, okay, so the concept is, and there are a few...
That impressed him, didn't it?
Not. There are a few... I kind of understand their attitude to life, but on the other hand, I really can't.
Whose attitude to what life?
People who think that international radio can only come via short...
He's off.
Yeah, one of those. And our concept on World Radio Day will be sharing with people a lot of them. We play with stuff here, even Lee does sometimes. We play with tech here, and it's incredibly low-cost tech.
Absolutely.
That you can do dozens and dozens of things.
Because he buys it.
Well, I don't. I rescue it mostly.
He does, honestly, yeah.
I do. I rescue it. And the truth is, you can create that which the older people, the shortwave radio listeners of the old days, used to have. And they would pay hundreds and hundreds of dollars, euros, pounds for equipment that in today's world you can do a lot cheaper and get more from it. And not only that, you can actually hear the whole programme without any snap, crackle and pop.
in a nutshell, what you're saying is to the old people, get your shorts off and do what we've done here, create an old rescue dog of a radio.
So, anyway, the 13th of February, which is a Wednesday, it's World Radio Day, International Radio Day.
Brilliant.
And RTI's been invited. We've got our event is on the UNESCO website. Hi, Omar. Omar's just joined us as well.
Hello, Omar.
Hi, Omar. Where are you from, Omar? Because you're here a lot, and I don't know where you're from. And I said to you in one of the satellite surgeries that radio is dipping, and it's time we turned the tap full on. I ask for the proliferation. Is that it? Proliferation?
That's the word, Eric.
Of
yeah.
radio, yeah, because it's got a Y in it. I didn't get it right.
Thank
you, Paul. You're absolutely right. It's time for real radio to fight back. And that's what we hope to do, and also encourage people to listen to international radio where they haven't got to spend 3 months' wages to do it. Because that's the whole problem. You can't listen, you can't be sure when it's going to work if you listen to the old stuff. And a lot of people are actually put off listening to international radio because they think it's going to cost a fortune, and it doesn't.
What, do you mean to buy, like, the unit to listen to it?
Yeah.
Something? Well, yeah, an internet radio thing, because we were looking at them, actually, earlier this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, even here, which is an expensive city in reality, you can get one for €40.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can actually do it even cheaper.
Well, of course you can. Go and rescue another dog.
Absolutely. So anyway, good afternoon to Paul, good afternoon to Steve and everybody else. And Omar, we're not doing dance at the moment, you silly boy. We're doing talky bits. The dance comes after that. Ha, 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 ha. He's taking the mickey at me now, boys and girls. Thank you. Cheap English humour from Omar. That's really good. Turn off FM so it's cheaper for all the broadcasters. Well, some countries are already doing that, Steve. There are... I like Omar. He's doing good jokes with me. This is good fun. It is a fact where you talk to American people and they have a different concept of radio because of the geographical size of the country. And, you know, there are places in the middle of nowhere where it's hard. But here, for example, I always remember the story. It was so funny. It was a friend of mine who told me who worked for the state transmission company. And they wanted to turn the AM transmitters off in Slovakia, but daren't do it. They just daren't do it because they knew what had happened. They'd all be going, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. And so what they did is they turned them off without telling anybody.
Yeah.
You need to be closer to your mic.
I was looking at you, I wasn't talking.
And about 2 weeks later, they then told everybody that they turned them off 2 weeks before.
And nobody noticed.
And some bloke then complained and said, that's why my radio's not working for 2 weeks. Yeah, right.
Can I just say about radio, though, what you say? My interest...
What?
Ooh.
Eh?
Eh?
Steve, what are you doing?
What's he doing?
So is it true Eric is going on Strictly? I could do that so easy.
He's done it. I've seen him. I've seen him doing dances and express his art.
On Facebook.
Well, there is one actually. I'll tell you what, if I can find it, I'll find it and I'll put it on. Yes, I will.
No.
My gosh, I will.
No.
Come on, Paul. I bet you've got a copy of it. Well, let's all put Eric doing his line dancing and the other bit on Facebook.
No. It's so full. Do you know, seriously, when we were kids, my parents, because we were talking about high and
You were never a kid. You were always an anorak.
Well, that's true. High and low art forms this morning on Facebook.
We were having a chat.
Yes, and my parents said that we should be sort of a little bit cultural when we were growing up. And so my elder sister and me were told to go off and do something.
Yeah.
And my sister chose ballet.
Yes.
And so she did ballet.
Was she in a box?
She did ballet dancing. And I did ballroom dancing.
Baggy trousers.
In a Victor Sylvester school. I knew he was going to do that. I just knew he was going to do that. Oh, dear. Omar, I cannot dance like that. That is ridiculous. He's put me on the screen with a tutu on.
Well, in your case, it'd have to be a 4-4.
It would be a 4-4 in my case. So anyway, we had to go to these schools, and my sister did. Actually, my sister was really good at it. She got into a ballet dance troupe.
Did she?
Yeah, she did ballet on the stage.
Did she?
Yeah, ballet.
I know I said box. I made a joke out of it ages ago.
And yours truly actually got bronze, silver,
in the spray
and
tan.
then gold.
Yeah, another spray tan. Derek Dickinson.
Medals from the Victor Sylvester School.
Who's Derek Dickinson? David Dickinson.
David, see, you're thinking of you. No. Anyway, Eric is so much of an anorak that it's the anorak that's presenting the show. Ho, 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 ho. Shall I go and put my coat on? Actually, I've got a bit of an anorak, haven't I? You've seen me on the bike with it.
He has. He actually wears an anorak. He actually
You
does
thought it was a
wear
leather
an
jacket,
anorak.
didn't you? You thought it was a leather jacket.
A cursory glance, I thought maybe it was, but then I thought, no, it has to be an anorak.
It's one of those, what do they call it, country file jackets, which are all waterproofed and...
Yes, it's a very nice jacket, actually.
yeah, they're all tartan inside and very, very cool, as I am on my bike anyway. And I'm missing my bike.
I'm missing my car.
It's terrible.
I took it out.
And they're moaning about a little bit of snow in England.
They're stupid. Snow here. Honestly.
No! David Rhodes! You are in so much trouble!
You naughty David.
You know what he's done?
What's he done, Doc?
He's put me line dancing.
Good on you, Dave. Thank you.
The YouTube.
Share it to my thing, and I'll put it in CWF. Put it in the group, CWF group, ConsumerWatchFoundation.com group. Put it in there, Dave. We'll share it to the world.
No.
It will go endlessly round the world.
Wait, so I'm going to be going endlessly round and round doing line dancing.
You've been doing that for years.
That's very true. Let's move on to a bit of news, as we've waffled for long enough.
I ain't gone now.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, what?
Hang on. Omar reckons that I'm riding... No, actually, I'm in a ballroom dancing dress, about to get on a bike, and he's put the graphics there for it. Look, over there. That one. Yeah, very good, isn't it?
Very nice,
Very
Omar.
good, Omar.
You've still not said where you're from, by the way.
No, he hasn't. Oh,
Where are you from, Omar? Are you just round the corner?
Probably. Anyway, let's move along. James Ingram, the Grammy-winning singer and a giant of the 80s soul.
He's a big man.
Absolutely. Yamo be there. What a great song that was.
Oh, yeah.
What?
I didn't know he'd done that. Oh, of course he did. Yes, of course he did. Yeah,
that's
it was
below
you.
his level.
Yamo be there. Yeah,
Yamo be
really.
there.
Yeah. But he did then. He did Come to Me.
Yeah, he did loads. He was a huge soul star.
He was.
Massive, and you will find a lot of the classic soul people, like Mike Hollis, for example, will play James Ingram quite a lot.
Sure,
on
it's
this
sad,
radio
isn't it?
station.
Yeah, 66 he was. That was all. He played with Linda Ronstadt and Dolly Parton. Hope not together.
I like Dolly Parton.
I love Dolly Parton. I think she's incredible. I've met Dolly Parton.
I think she's one of the most wonderful singers that's ever come out of Nashville.
I think you're absolutely right.
Yeah, it's just...
Of the female variety, anyway.
Yeah, of the female variety. Anyway, Dave's gone ha to your suggestion of splattering it all over
That
the
means
place.
he's going to do it, don't it? Come on, Dave, you've got to do it, mate. You've got to do it.
Anyway, no, he was really good. He played drums for Ray Charles as well, which was back in the 60s. Great singer, absolutely brilliant singer.
He was in Dick Clark's band.
And of course, he was backing vocals for the legend that is Marvin Gaye.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's proper music for you folk.
Yeah.
Proper music. Funk and soul. And if it doesn't move, funk it. What?
Very cheap, very cheap.
No, that was a jingle.
I know he's a jingle, but he was still a cheap jingle as well.
I used to use that all the time.
Yeah, until you found out what it meant.
Okay. Hi to you from Charles.
Hello, Charles.
Charles.
That's not Prince Charles, is it?
No, it's Charles Burrows. But
Charles Burrows.
he's equally as posh.
Yes, I can imagine, yes.
Yes, he is. He's very posh, you know.
Yeah.
He's very upper class, you know. It's the programme people that we sort of encourage to
We
come
do,
here.
yes, the elitists.
No.
Yeah.
We don't care where you're from, as long as you're a nice...
He thinks elite's a place.
We only have nice people on this programme. David Garman, the businessman who invented the portable bath lift, absolute genius. The lives that man actually helped is phenomenal, and you can still see it on all
Absolutely.
the house improvement programs
Yeah,
here and in
yeah.
the UK, where they use these lifts to put people who... And do you know what? He also gave, which is not shown, he also gave so many people their dignity back.
That's right, but you got to remember to empty the bath before you open the door.
Well, there is that to it as well. And he just started as a normal engineer.
Yeah, good one.
And on he went. Tributes have been played also to the actor Dick Miller, stars of 80s classics such as Gremlins. Ow.
Was that a gremlin?
Well, that was one of the ones. You see, what
Oh,
happened
they
is
did, didn't they?
if you fed them chicken
Yeah.
after midnight, they turned from good people into gremlins.
What if you if you gave them water?
Water, yeah.
That killed them.
I can't remember what it did to them. It did something funny.
Steve, did you kill a gremlin by giving it water?
I don't know. But anyway, I do know if you fed them chicken, then they would go all funny and horrible, and they were great. I used to know. They were just fab. But anyway, he did a whole load of films, including A Bucket of Blood.
Do you remember A Bucket of Blood?
Kind of.
Wow.
Was it a good movie?
That was rubbish, but it was really funny.
I like Gremlins. I loved Gremlins.
Yeah. So you give them chicken,
Yeah.
and then they were clucked.
Very funny. But no, because it came out at the same time as E.T.
E.T.
E.T. Home Phone. That is probably... If I had to choose one film that I could own... Oh, no, it'd be tough now. Can I have two films?
What, the chicken?
Can I have two films to take with me forever?
Go on, then. That'll be really interesting.
E.T.
E.T.
and The Boat That Rocked.
Right. Okay. I can see where you're coming
Because the
from.
minister, just after midnight, he's there in his lounge.
They're reputable films.
Yes, and he thinks that they've won because the pirates shut down, and they go 3, 2, 1, we're on. Yeah. And he stands up and goes, Her Majesty's government, with the champagne. And what was that bloke's name? It was Twit or Twat. Or Twat.
Hey!
No, it was
You
his
frowned
surname.
on me for my cluck joke.
It was a surname. It was a surname in the film, in the movie. I'm only repeating the movie. And then the presenter comes back and he goes, "Only kidding, folks. Let's rock." At which point, and I'm quoting from the movie, the minister says, "Us!" and snatches all the champagne away from everybody.
I have a confession to make that I've never made in my life before about the film E.T. I went to see it with two of my children.
Yes.
And at the end, this is the film ended, the lights went up a little bit quicker than
And you were caught crying.
Yeah.
I was. Yeah, because you are quite a softie, really. I thought they became gremlins if you denied Lee beer. Well, that's probably true. He does become a gremlin.
Oh, no, I tell you what, I was really good. I didn't hardly have anything to drink last night,
Well, we have to say thank you to Egidius for last week.
Egidius, what a place. Fabulous, yeah. Wasn't it?
If you
You
get
were
your
so
gremlin,
drunk.
right?
He was so drunk, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
That's it, Dave, you're right. They ate chicken, they became gremlins.
Yeah.
If you put water on them, they went from 1 to 2.
Oh, that's right. You got 2 for the price of 1, didn't you, if you wet them?
That's it. If you expose them to the sun, they die. That's right. Thank you, sir.
Right.
Thank you. Another guy that... he's my hero, really.
Who?
This next guy.
Who's that?
He's saved my bacon so many times because, as my dear darling wife is always telling me, I am a tablet junkie.
You're a creaking gate and a tablet junkie.
Yes, because us Brits, they actually think here that we're softies.
Why?
Because whenever we bang our little toe and it hurts, we take a painkiller.
Actually, to be honest, I got some ibuprofen yesterday because I've hurt my knee.
Now, I can't say the proper word because you've put the wrong one in my head. Anyway, the British chemist who helped invent the painkiller ibuprofen...
Ibuprofen.
Who discovered...
Did he take your hangover?
Yeah, he did it. What a guy! This guy's amazing. He was awarded an OBE in 1987, Dr. Stuart Adams. And the other thing I love about this guy is he didn't come through all the university palaver.
No.
He was a pharmacist apprentice. doing
Works
the
on
job.
a farm?
Pharmacist apprentice, and he learnt his craft that way round. There was nobody in the film Boat That Rocked that was based on me at all. I'm not that old.
No, they just based the boats on him.
I'm saying nothing. I'm absolutely saying nothing. Anyway, the poor guy's died at the grand old age, what was it, 95?
95 and a bit. He
Good
had
on
hangover as
him.
well, yeah.
Good
No,
on
he never
him.
had hangover again, did he?
I don't suppose, because the funny thing, I mean, I'm not allowed to take ibuprofen now.
Oh, yeah.
No, because of asthma and all that stuff.
Did you hear about that Judy Finnegan?
What'd she do?
Well, it's just an interesting thing because I know Judy Finnegan very, very well indeed, and I don't like Richard, her husband. I think he's a knob, and I made it clear to him. You're
Casting
a knob, Richard.
aspersions.
He's a knob. He's a complete knob. Anyway, she claims.
So if he's so bad,
Yeah, he's terrible. He's
how
disgusting,
come
ridiculous.
she's not the replacement on Good Morning Britain, but he is?
Well, because she's not very well, poor old Judy.
she
No,
not?
don't be horrible. No, she's not very well.
Is she not?
She's emotionally a bit, Judy is a lovely woman,
All right.
and she's had a bad time in so many ways, and she's not very happy with herself, but she's continued working. She's gone into writing books. Anyway, what I was going to say is that
He's off
she
for
came out.
shaggy dog stories.
She's never done that.
You have.
I have. Well, I suppose I have in my life.
Yes.
And she took ibuprofen, right?
Yeah, ibuprofen.
Yeah, that
okay.
stuff.
Yeah.
And claims it gave her four ulcers and she nearly died because of it.
There are some people that are allergic to it, yes.
Yeah,
That's
strange.
true. Anyway, we move on to the Met Office has
Stupid Met Office.
not issued a yellow warning for
No.
snow this time. They've issued an amber warning.
Yeah.
And I was watching my favourite news programme of the morning, Sky News.
Yes.
And Stephen was out there with... It looked like somebody had held a sugar shaker upside down and sprinkled it on the path. And they were there like... I could see... Sorry, Stephen, you're wonderful. I love you to bits. But he was desperately trying to make it look worse than
Like
it was.
it had snowed.
Yeah. And there was just... The roads were black.
Yeah, but think about what's happening in New York, though.
Well, exactly. And I mean...
This weather vortex.
Yeah, some of you may have seen the video on Facebook that I put on the other day as I was driving up the road home. It's like a metre of snow each side, and yet we just get on with it.
Well, you do, that's right. You just do. People drive like maniacs in the snow because they've all got special tyres. Why don't we have to have special tyres in the rest of the world?
Well, I think that's half the problem. In that the UK, I'm going to defend them, are not used to adverse weather in the same way.
No, just a bit of rain.
Therefore, what tends to happen is that when it comes down, it's going to hit you like a lead balloon. It's really going to hurt you because you're not used to something that's happening. Yeah. So I kind of have some sympathy with it. But, don't milk it, guys.
But in America, in New York, 14 people have frozen
to death. Yeah.
And also, America's told people not to go out and not breathe if they do.
Well, that makes sense.
Well, it is, because when it's been really cold here, I find it sometimes difficult to get my breath.
Correct.
Properly,
Absolutely, especially if you
cold.
get the sharp wind blow at the same time.
Yeah.
And I've got to read this out because I think and we're going to start picking people up on this all the time now.
Yeah.
On social media, some idiot has been saying that workers have the right to take a dependency day due to the weather to look after family members, i.e. their children, which I commend them for wanting to do, but dependency leave does not cover it because it's already been announced on the weather forecast.
It is an emergency thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not for you just to take some time off because the school's closed and sit with your kids. Now, I know you have to do that, but it's not the right of the employee to tell the boss, I'm taking dependency leave. Not only that, they don't have to pay you.
No. And
If you take a day off for this, mate, hard luck.
Yeah, if one of your children gets taken to hospital because it's fallen off its bike or something, you can phone up your company and say, look, I'm going to have to take a day off, and the boss can either say, yeah, fine, but what they can't do is sack you for it.
No.
That's all it means, and most companies will continue to pay you for it because it's...
Yeah, they would,
it's
but
good
you
PR.
can't, just be careful. Don't walk into the boss and say, I want a dependency leave day, because he can tell you to get stuffed, and would be quite within his rights in the weather to do that, because, do you know what? There's a thing the day before called a weather forecast, which tells you what's going to happen. And the idea is you can plan for what's going to happen, so dependency leave does not apply.
Do you know that's exactly what a weather forecasts are for people to plan?
No. They really? Yeah. Well, golly gosh, my gasp is flabbered.
Oh, dear.
Flipping ding-dongs. And we move on to
What was that? Where did that come from? Flipping ding-dongs. We've used every swear word in the book nearly on this, and it comes out with flipping ding-dongs.
Well, that was clean.
I know. Flipping ding-dongs.
Anyway, rail passengers across the UK, due to some silly people, have been advised by the so-called self-appointed consumer group, which, I mean, nobody voted them in, don't forget.
They are a very good group.
They're self-appointed.
Well, so what?
And they
So's
don't know
the
what,
Queen.
And when it comes to technicals, I've driven buses through their reports so many times.
In a very boring way, I may add.
And they're now advising passengers to claim compensation. And I know what this is. It's because the witch group are not getting bigger and bigger and bigger as they hope to be. And it's just a news headline.
Excuse me, that is so unfair.
Why?
Some train companies, including Southern, Great Northern and Southern Western Railways, offer compensation for any delay over 15 minutes.
So why do the witch lot have to come out and say it again? Because the company's already said it in the first place.
Because until I read that story, I didn't know that was what happened, and you should get compensation.
Well, you've only got to ask me. I'd have told you.
Oh dear. I didn't know about it. And railway companies in Britain are so bad at timekeeping, they need to be penalised. Trains over here are not late.
Hang on, I don't understand this, Leary. This is Leary, Richard George.
Leary?
Yeah, they are good Woodstock, New York. Huh? Are you saying
talking about the weather?
Are you saying you're from Woodstock, New York? If so, I'm jealous.
I've been there.
I'm very jealous.
I've still been there.
I've been jealous even more now.
I've been there often.
Yes. Anyway.
Well, I've been there once.
Oh, ouch! Oh!
Oh, no.
Nobody voted CWF in either.
And nobody voted RTI FM.
Brilliant.
And nobody has ever voted for Steve Mann.
That's very true. They voted for me.
Well, they voted for me as well.
Because you won an award.
I did. I've won 2. Excuse me.
Yeah, you won 2, didn't you?
I won Newspaper Design and Magazine Design Award, and I've won an International Headline Award.
Yeah, there you go. Me and David won some stuff as well.
I know, David's very good.
He is very good, actually. Actually, I've got a huge compliment. I'm not going to tell you who said this, Dave.
You've got a huge what?
A huge compliment.
Oh,
Dave.
compliment, sorry.
I was talking to a leg end of radio yesterday afternoon who said, and this guy has been on really huge international stations because he's good.
Yes.
And he's done it because he's good.
Yeah.
And he actually said, do you know what? My programmes are nowhere near as well produced as Dave Rhodes.
I can understand that.
And he was dead serious. He really was. David's now going to hide in the corner because he doesn't like that, and he'll go for it. Actually, he'll save the company a lot of money now.
He's got a way of presenting, which is it's got this rounded way. Everything is rounded.
It plays music.
Yeah, no, but the way he presents it as well.
He makes music with the music. Makes music with the music. Silly Will Young.
Oh, what a knob he is and all.
In the context of the story, that's probably not the right word to use. Anyway, Will Young has hit out at the Grand Tour over alleged homophobic comments. And he's complaining about it, saying, they're really nasty to the LGBT community, yada, yada, yada. And on his Twitter feed, he's actually said, next time, if he carries on, and I'm really fed up, and I want Amazon Prime and the producers of the Grand Tour to meet young LGBT people and blah, 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 and said, your time is up. It's time to take a stand. Is there a legal case? Who knows? And then he completely ruins it. Do you know how he ruins it?
Go on.
He says, I might go to Ofcom about it.
What a knob.
He's actually threatened to go to Ofcom. Now, anybody in the broadcasting industry knows that if the programme is only broadcast on the interweb, which it is, as far as the UK is concerned, it has nothing to do with Ofcom.
Well, no, that's right.
So, Mr. Young, you're a numpty.
You're a knob.
A numpty.
A knobby numpty.
Or something like that.
Can I just tell you why I say he is that way? First of all, the joke that was made about a Wrangler Jeep was made by the little one, and Hammond.
Hamster.
And he really wasn't that
wasn't
rude,
very fun.
And I make jokes about Eric's car, which is actually a very nice car, but I make jokes about his car, saying it's a girl car. There was really no difference at all between what Hamster said and what I say about his car.
The problem is we've all got too PC correct, and everybody go, Will Young's a snowflake.
Well, Will Young, I met him after he performed. We went to see a concert, and then I was invited backstage, not backstage, to the hotel to meet him and have a chat. And he spent the most of the concert dressed as an airline pilot, standing on one leg for some inexplicable reason, and warbling the most atrocious, whatever word I can say, it isn't a swear word,
rubbish,
all the way through. We went to meet him at the bar, have a chat with him, because we were doing a piece on him, and he was the most arrogant, stupid, ridiculous, demanding, show-off man. He even started singing at the bar, and everybody had to be quiet.
So I can't go to Ofcom about this show then, damn. I thought it might get you some good free publicity. Now, you could complain to the regulator in Tokyo.
Tokyo, there's a joke about it.
In Japan? No, this is serious.
No, there is one, but it is serious.
Because what is it? It's 2 o'clock on Monday afternoon our time, which is 10 o'clock in Tokyo. It's raining not in Tokyo. And if you tune into one of the FM stations there, you're going to hear me.
Yes, of course, that's right, yes. Yes.
I shall remember to be ever so polite and very apple blossom and all that sort of thing. Cherry blossom. The polar vortex brings deadly cold snap, as Lee's already said, to the US of A, and it is flipping cold over there.
Yeah.
It's about as cold as it is here.
Yeah, it's gone down to -30.
We haven't done quite that, but I did notice this morning when I went out to the car it was -17.
It is, and what a tragedy, though, because New York should be used to... it's not only New York, is it? But you'd have thought America was used to this kind of weather, and what a terrible thing that 14 people have frozen to death on the streets.
Indeed. We're going to take a quick break, because we haven't done that for ages, and I'll get told off. This is Postcard from Poprad.
RTI.
Everybody okay? Remember your training, all right?
RNLI lifeboat crews are unpaid volunteers. They rescue 22 people every day. On a lifeboat, training is a matter of life and death, and it costs £1,000 a year for each crew member. As a charity, we receive no UK government funding, so our crew's safety depends entirely on your donations. Please call 0800 543 210 and donate £20 or whatever you can afford. Because next time, this could be for real.
RTI.
Welcome back to part 2 of Postcard from Poprad, and do support the RNLI. They are a really good registered charity. They do so much work. Not actually just... it's Lucy Boddington. Hello.
Boddington?
Hello.
I love Boddington.
She says, hello, Eric. Just, hello, Eric. Thank you, Lucy.
I hate Boddingtons. Waits is far better.
Hello, Eric. Good to see you. Yeah, well, as you know, Lucy, I've got a great face for radio. Before he says it, I will say it first.
I won't use that joke because it's such an old hackneyed joke that I won't say it.
Hackney joke?
Hackneyed.
Oh, hackneyed. I thought you said Hackney, as in a
Cab.
part of London. Stars have urged the BBC for Eurovision to be moved out of Israel because they're stupid, which they are. And I mean, why is Dame Vivienne Westwood doing that?
Westwood.
Peter Gabriel... hang on. They won the competition. It's part of the EBU, which is the European Broadcasting Union. Nothing to do with the EU or the EC or anybody else. It started long before that. It's part of the EBU. They won the right to it because they had a good song. They had better songs than most of you old people would vote for anyway. And the truth is, they have every right to have it there.
But it's the fact that people like Mike Lee, who, again, I'm sorry to do this, I know it's name dropping, but I know Mike Lee extremely well. Right. I've done quite a lot of work with him a long time ago with Mike Lee, and he's he's got a very big social conscience, and Miriam Margolis as well. They are saying that really, as a protest, it should be removed from Israel because of its occupation of the West Bank and Golan Heights,
It's
etc.
6 1 and 2 3s.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. This is used as a vehicle to express somebody's feelings about something which is wrong that's going on in this world.
Right.
And if you remove people's right to do that, and newspapers or the BBC to report on it,
You're never going to get anywhere.
well, it doesn't matter whether you're not getting anywhere. You are bringing it to the public attention.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, I just think it's very crass for anybody to do that. Mark, the song that I've heard, which is
the only thing that's crass about the Eurovision Song Contest is the Eurovision Song Contest.
No, there's actually a couple of good songs this year.
No, there isn't.
There is.
No.
The trouble is, they are not British.
Well, what was the last British song that was any good?
That got anywhere.
Yeah.
Probably Sandy Shaw, Cliff Richard, and
Forget Cliff Richard.
and Are You Sure by the Allisons. We were robbed with that.
Sandy Shaw.
We
I
were
might
robbed
agree
by
with
the Allisons.
Allisons. What
'Cause
did they do?
Are you sure it's not your foolish heart? 'Cause you're the one that said that we're to part.
That performance that you did, which was exemplary at using the standards of the Eurovision Song Contest, should be a winner because that's the standard of the songs that go there.
Oh my lord! No, but we were robbed. We were winning. Then somebody said we didn't add the numbers up right.
Yeah,
and changed it all.
Yeah, Peter Gabriel says for any artist of any conscience, it would be a dubious honour for them to win. And what he's saying, that the UK should not take an honour off a country which is doing things that people think are wrong.
But that's just him.
It isn't. There's a lot of people think that there is a violation of Palestine human rights going on there.
And there is the other way round as well. 6 1 and 2 3s, Peter.
Yeah.
Raspberries.
But
Anyway,
he's allowed his opinion.
Lucy says that she likes Boddington too. Well, she would do, otherwise she wouldn't like herself.
Well, exactly.
Yes,
Yeah.
You've got to learn to love yourself, Lucy.
Yes.
You have. Good afternoon,
Robinson's is actually better. I'm Marston's. I was brought up on Marston's. I was weaned on Marston's.
Excuse me, we've got to say thank you to the Egidius Brewery.
Oh, what a fabulous beer that is.
Egidius Brewery in Poprad, who some of you in the UK will know it as the rich, dark, mild that they used to be available, and it's just the same as that. Keith says, hello, boys. We like that.
Oh, we like you, Keith.
Yeah, very good, Keith. Boys, I can do that.
Hello, boys.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that Will Young will be complaining.
Oh, no. Well, when Lee's a granddad.
I'm a grand all sorts.
You're grand twice now, aren't you? Are you grand twice?
No, nearly three.
Nearly three?
Nearly
Is it?
three.
No, you're two now.
Yeah. No, I've got two now and I'm having another one.
That's what I'm saying. You're two times granddad.
Yeah. I'm the youngest granddad in Britain.
Yeah. Yeah, you believe that, you believe anything. Yeah, actually, I just thought you're so rude about your friends.
Which friends? I haven't got any friends.
Katrina and the Waves.
I did Katrina, she's lovely.
You see? Thanks, Dave.
Yeah, what? What about her?
Well, she was on Eurovision.
I didn't like her music, I just liked other parts of her. Until I found out that... Anyway...
You're in trouble now, aren't you?
I never said anything. Nobody can complain about me.
Would you like a JCB to dig yourself a bigger hole?
No, I love you, Katrina. We spent many, many happy hours together, Katrina and I. We drank together, we laughed together, we cried together. I protected her against some thugs in her audience one day. Yep. She is a beautiful rock and roll artist.
Hi, Keane. How the devil are you, Keane?
Keane?
Yes, Keane is there. Keane, BBC Director General Tony Hall has apologised to stars over taxes. This is all to do with the HMRC and making them have contracts, which has never happened before.
I know.
And won't in the future as well, because somebody will challenge it, and it'll get thrown out of court again. And it's just Labour people being awkward.
But when you think...
Kane, I can't... Just a second. Kane, we cannot look at your music on this channel because this channel is a pucker radio station, so we can't just whiz off and have a look.
No,
because we're actually live around the world, darlings.
Sorry,
not just on you now, on lots of other things as well.
Can we just say, though, that this is what has happened, and it's incredible. I don't actually know who Look North presenter Krista Ackroyd is.
Oh, right. Well, anyway, the BBC is trying to reach a deal.
Wait a minute. He got a tax bill of nearly £500,000 after this happened.
I know, it's ridiculous.
How can he end up with that?
I don't think he can. I think it's just another HMRC screw-up.
Yeah, I think so.
I really do.
Sorry, carry on.
The BBC's trying to reach a deal with HMRC to settle all the cases. And Lord Hall, I nearly said something. Thank you. I'm so tempted. Said he'd apologised to the affected presenters in person.
Yeah, that's really good. When
very
you're bankrupt, living on a park bench.
Yeah, well done, mate. Great for you. Well done. You should have told him to get stuffed. That'd have been the easy way out.
Right, instead of stuffing your presenters.
UK space rocket. Space rocket.
Yeah, the only one we ever had.
From Australia. Isn't that nice?
After 48 years being in the outback, it's lived in the outback, it's had a sheep farm, everything, it's rode kangaroos.
Bless.
And now it's coming home.
What bits of the kangaroo did it eat?
Just the pouches.
Just the pouches?
Yeah, and the feet.
You're going to stop there now, aren't you?
I'm not going any higher.
That's good. Facebook has got into trouble for apparently paying teenagers to mine data. Yeah. They've been looking at their phones, kids between 13 and 17, been paid about $20 to have a look at their phones, finding out what they're doing, how they're doing it, the way they like it. And in some ways, I kind of get it.
Get what?
Well, I always say that, for people to really understand radio, what you've got to do is get out of your stupid office on the top of a skyscraper and go down and talk to real people. Yeah. This is the problem with so many radio and television, and even journalists aren't so bad because they have to go out anyway. Yeah. And they do bump into real people as opposed to the normal people that they wouldn't normally meet. So it's easier for the journalists because they have to go out. The radio and telly people, they don't go out and talk to people. And do you know what,
because
guys?
They live in ivory towers.
Yeah. If you got a good product, do you know what is the most wonderful thing that can ever happen?
People, talking about
you go into the bar of a microbrewery in Poprad, little Poprad, and there's us two idiots playing radio every Friday because we can, and thank you to the people who make it possible. And people there are going, hello.
I know, absolutely. And I tell you what,
it's not because we make rubbish programmes, it's because we hopefully make you guys laugh.
And it was funny because I walked into...
Was that funny?
I walked into a bar... Oh no, I couldn't think of a joke now. No, I walked into a bar, he was sitting there, at 10 o'clock at night or whatever time it was in this little city called Poprad, and there was I being played on the radio in the bar.
On the PA system, yeah.
Really good. Just please. It was just a pleasant thing.
There's no hope for some people, is there? Anyway, after all the furore of Facebook this last 12 months, the critics have had to go, well, they won't eat humble pie.
No, they haven't. Why have they got to eat humble pie over this?
Because Facebook has moved down a bit, dear.
We moved on to a different story now.
Move down, dear. Facebook has recorded a strong fourth quarter as profits climbed to $6.9 billion.
Yeah, there it is, the true voice of the people.
An all-time record. So what I'm saying is, these elitist people are going, oh, it's rubbish, you know. Oh, you shouldn't go on there. You're out of touch with the real world, chaps.
Who said that? What about?
I think so many people are out of touch with... No, nobody said it. I
said that.
I said that.
But no, wait a minute, though.
We've been told to hold our plums.
It's not by that...
Well, I'm not holding your plums. I can't read that. That's too nice.
Oh, is it nice?
It really is nice.
You say that, really, then?
Really?
Is it about...
us?
Go on, then.
It's nice about us.
Go on, then. Well, I'll be rude about it.
This is the best radio show. Gosh.
That's very... Who said that?
Steve.
What, that Mr. Man?
Yes.
We love you, Mr. Man.
Yeah.
Can I just say, though, when you're talking about Facebook, right, making this incredible profit of 12, nearly 13 billion pounds, just remember that they have done that by mining the data of the people they conned.
Oh, yeah, we paid for it.
The people they conned into thinking they launched a platform which would benefit the world. It didn't. It benefited them.
No, I've got to read a message out.
Oh, heck.
I've got to read this out from Lisa. Lisa says, and I guess that Lisa is in Australia, by the way she's talking, bloody ruse. They bugger up our cars because they really don't bounce. I guess you've had a contretemps with a roux then, Lisa.
Oh, no.
I think you probably have, which makes an awful lot of sense. Has Lee taken up residence in Poprad, Eric? Don't worry, you'll get rid of him with Brexit, says Ian.
Thank you, Ian.
I did, Ian. Do you know, I offered €1,000.
I know, and I wouldn't take it.
To the people to let him come in, stop him coming in. They went, we don't take bribes, Eric. That was the old days, not the modern days.
Exactly.
We don't do any of that. And so we kind of, we found him on a street corner by the side of the airport.
And I've kept the economy going by drinking their breweries dry.
That's very true, he did.
I actually did drink one of their breweries dry. They apologised that night when I went, we've got no more beer left, they said.
No, we've got to squeeze these couple of serious stories in without going into too much detail on the first one. Italy's in a recession again now, and the Eurozone's struggling. And it comes on the same week. And you know, I'm not asking for anybody to say sorry. I'm not.
No,
absolutely not.
No.
But I don't know how many times I've said on this programme, sooner or later, German economists will come up and say, hold on a minute, we got this wrong.
Yeah.
How many times have I said that?
3 times in the last hour.
Well, that's true.
Anyway, why'd you say that? Why'd you say they've got it wrong? I don't think they've got it wrong.
Well, the economists in Germany, it's Econpol Europe,
that's right,
have urged the UK and the EU to drop all the spat about the backstop and to condense this down.
Yeah.
They've actually come up with a great idea.
Well, you said they got it wrong.
No. Other people keep saying, I've got it wrong.
No, you haven't. No, this is actually what we should be doing.
This is an endorsement of what I've been saying for months and months and months and months and months. And it comes from all these experts who know more about economies and stuff than I do. And basically, they said, you can scrap all this stuff. Why not just have... It's very simple. All you've got to do is have one trade association.
Absolutely.
No politics, no courts, no this, that and the other. All you've got to do is have a trade association with bilateral agreements. Job done!
I couldn't agree more.
And this,
Why don't we get on with it?
Be careful, EU, because if the German economists are starting to say this, it's going to start, the waves are going to ripple higher and higher and higher, which they will. And just bear that in mind for the future. It's still a long... I know people in the UK are panicking, saying it's X amount of days to go. But in negotiating terms, that's a really, really long time.
This is what people forget. This
Gosh.
is a business negotiation. And all the proletariat of our country who are going on saying that Mrs May's got it wrong, that everybody's got it wrong, they don't realise what is going on behind closed doors. This isn't a pantomime that's being played in before an
Actually,
audience.
I just thought of something that people can probably relate to, because yesterday, I think it was yesterday midnight in the UK time,
Yes.
it was the end of the transfer window for footballers to move from one club to another club.
Right.
You know, it's millions of pounds
Yeah,
we're talking
yeah.
about here. And it went right down to the 1 minute before the contracts were done.
That's hard negotiations.
Yeah,
It's what
is.
people do.
Yeah.
Our country, the UK, is a massive, massive business. Look at it that way.
It's
we are fighting.
GBPLC.
Yeah, and we are fighting for the best deal we can get. And they're fighting to not give us the best deal we can get. Ultimately, that does not dictate what the outcome will be.
No, absolutely not. And when you look at the other thing that I've said this before, and I'm saying it again now, the alliances that are happening between, for example, Poland and Italy, where they're now falling out with Brussels because they don't like the control factor. The more this thing grows, the less you have in Brussels, guys. So why not smarten up, be clever, do a nice something, and everybody's going to like you again.
Yeah,
They're actually getting to the point of disliking you, which is a bad thing. Author Jilly Cooper has said that men are being diminished by the Me Too movement, and that nowadays everybody is too PC. Yes, yes.
Well said.
Oh, yes.
Well said.
Well said, that lady. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. And this is an 81-year-old, and you know she was
the queen of the bonkbuster, dear.
well, she was actually doing erotic novels, 81 years old, and she said the Me Too movement is wrong and the political correctness is wrong. Good on you, lady. I think you're a wonderful person and we love you to bits.
Can I just say that I have
What do you mean,
banged on...
hang on, excuse me, can we not do that anymore?
What, can I just say?
Yes.
That's what politicians say, hear it all the time.
I know, but because Lisa wants to say something first.
Go on, Lisa, darling.
Lisa first. Yes, I have. She's had contact with a Roo in sleepy little Adelaide. That's in Australia, where our Rachel Brunsden is from. Have lots of Roos. Recently, one, she says bugger again.
She's a naughty girl. Just stop saying you don't hear us swearing.
Well, you don't hear me say it.
No.
Recently, one bugger bounced out and dented my front end.
Well,
Not
Lisa.
happy January. Did he really... I mean, you mean on the car, Lisa?
Don't be rude, Eric.
Well, I wasn't.
You were rude
It could have
then.
been a bicycle.
Oh, OK, yes, he's right, isn't he? Yes, sorry, I apologise to Mr Wiltshire.
Gosh. We got time for one more story.
Excuse
I
me,
think.
I just have to say something very quickly. That going back to what the Queen of the Bonkbuster says, that men are being diminished, I have fought for decades for men to be looked upon as men. We have been diminished by all sorts of things. Womanly women are gorgeous, and manly men should be allowed to be manly too.
Yeah, but there is a rule.
What's that?
If your wife says, "Does my bottom look big in this?" You
You say, no, it's a small room.
no comment. It's the stern reply very quickly. If you want to keep your plums in a safe place. Oh, my Lord.
Terrible.
I know.
I'm going to complain to Ofcom about us.
Are you? What have we done?
Because you're just so rude.
Why? I'm just realistic. It's going back to what we were having an anatomy before the show because we've been moaning about journalism and stuff and manufacturers and it is true. We've all got so daft over making things complicated in this world.
Yes.
It really is.
We're going to do this soon.
Well, I know we're going to do it, but there was. I can name drop, can't I?
You could name drop. I've
Thank you,
name
darling.
dropped all sorts of people.
One of my, actually, it has to be said, it was one of my dream jobs which I got, which was, Lisa got hit in her car. It's okay.
Ah, well, that's all right.
I had actually, Lisa, if you look on my Facebook page from about 10 years ago nearly, you will see I used to drive a big, what's it called? A Mazda Tribute. It was a chunky, great thing. And it got written off by a tiny little Skoda. I nearly did the joke about the lady driving it, but I thought better of it. But it was a lady driving it. Anyway, and LBC in London with the lovely Steve Allen, who's a genius. We had this bloke phone up once ago. No, you shouldn't tell people to fix it like this. And Steve read out this email from this guy, which I kind of followed. That was okay. And then Steve said at the end of it, I understood none of it. And then we got the caller back who'd got the problem and said, did Eric's Way fix it? And she said, yeah. It's brilliant. It's working now, Eric. Thank you. I said, okay. He said, did you understand what that bloke said? She said, I haven't got a clue what he was talking about.
No.
And this is the problem. People get stuck in this little world of their own and they get stuck with all the... It's the language paraphernalia that goes with it.
It's not. It's the obsession with the minusculity of new tech. And the problem is this argument...
And the jargon.
Yeah, the jargon, exactly. And people who wear anoraks and are called techies like to talk in jargon. Now, techie stuff
he's having a go at me.
No. I'm saying that tech stuff should be the most popularist kind of entertainment and written about subject in the world. But because people write about it in such an obtuse and stupid fashion, including the manufacturers, nobody knows what they're talking about. And the problem then is that the majority, not the majority, I have to backtrack on that, but 1 billion people a day don't really know what they're doing with their technology because nobody's explained it to them.
Properly, yeah. And
the
trouble is with a lot of this stuff, it's like televisions. Yeah, we as consumers, and I include me, because when I don't think how the television works when I turn it on, I couldn't give a monkey's cuss. What I could give a cuss about is if the handset works.
Yeah, well, yes, exactly. But you don't have to go into minuscule details about its diphthongs and its Yuri what's-its.
No. And the way that some of these manufacturers treat the customers, or as my wife says, I abuse position over it, because I just tell them straight.
Exactly, and of course you should.
Yeah, they've got to be told straight, otherwise it doesn't work for everybody else. But there you go. So what are you up to? We're not going to squeeze another story, and we're just going to waffle a bit for a minute, because we do. Lovely to have Mark back on the breakfast show this morning as well.
Oh,
from
hello, Mark.
Australia. He's been all over Europe, but he didn't get here.
Oh, Mark.
Yeah, he said he'd have to plan it on the next trip, which is rather nice.
Do you remember that other Mark we had on, who got really upset with me because I said his name sounded like a dog with a hair lip? Mark. And he never really spoke to me again after that, did he?
Not?
No. What do you remember? We ended up rowing on air.
Oh, yeah, you did, didn't you? You had a right Barney. Flipping heck.
It was only a joke, Mark.
Oh, God. Well, there's one thing I do know about the snow in England.
What's that?
That our Steve, who's on next, who is actually a train driver, he won't be late for starting in a couple of minutes, and so we'll have to go away.
Is he a railway DJ?
He is a railway DJ.
Read the ConsumerWatchFoundation.com and look up the railway DJ, Steve. It's a fascinating story.
Actually, to be very honest, it is an absolutely brilliant story. And Steve says you can have the last word on this one, Steve. I agree. My mum understands that there's a button on the remote control to turn the TV on. And where's the off button? And that's all she wants to know.
Unless she wants to change channel.
Or unless you've got a TV like mine, where I've just had a Barney with them for changing one of the browsers inside of it, because they're stupid. and they've coded it all wrong. So I've told Philips off, and I'm going to tell them off again until they fix it and send me a new one.
Yes. Can I just tell people about this new innovation?
Go on.
No, ladies and gentlemen.
This is making me nervous.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everybody who's listening, we have a new columnist who has joined the Consumer Watch Foundation.
This is good. This is good.
Her name is Chloe Ivy Lily Bell, which is a fabulous name. And she is a young writer. She's worked on a newspaper, but she is a young writer, and she is now writing a column for us called The Life According to Chloe. And it's for young people.
And it's about young people.
About young people and about the trials and tribulations
through the eyes of a young person.
Exactly, of making their way in the world. Please support her.
Yeah.
Please read it and then share it with your friends and share it with your friends' offspring, because it is really good and really interesting.
And not every kid is a pain in the backside.
No.
Sooty time.
Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.
And that's it for another week on Postcard from Poprad. Whether you've been listening, fantastic to have your company. We'll do it all again next week. Gosh.
We will.
Yeah, I knew you couldn't wait. Coming up next, it's Steve on Radio Tatras International, your station of the stars.
The Station of the Stars. RTI.